guys, I'm Shimmer, and welcome to another episode of New Begin Learn, a beginner's guide to Elder Scrolls Online. In today's guide, we are going to talk about enchanting. I'm going to tell you what enchants are, go over the skill line, harvesting, deconstructing, how to level efficiently, writ and writ certification, and finally, useful add-ons and tips. There will be time links in the About section below, so if you want to skip over some parts, you can, but for now, let's get to it. First up, what are enchants? Enchants are additional buffs you can add to your armor, jewelry, and weapons. You can enchant each piece of armor, each weapon, and each piece of jewelry. Enchants do stack and make you a much more powerful hero in the world of Tamriel. Having the ability to make these yourself can save you some money, and also make you some money when you're able to craft the most powerful enchants. First, let's go over the enchanting skill line and see what skills are available. Press K and go to Crafting, and then go to Enchanting. At the top, you will see a bar with a level next to it, and this is your level in Enchanting. Now, just because it says you're level 50 or level 20 or so on, doesn't mean you have the ability to craft those higher level enchants just yet. You are first going to have to spend points on passive abilities in order to craft those higher level enchants. This overall enchanting level here, as it increases, unlocks the ability to spend points in the passive abilities below. Your first skill is Aspect Improvement. Unlike equipment crafting, which allows you to upgrade your armor you loot or purchase, enchants cannot be improved upon and must be crafted in the quality or color you wish the end result to be. Aspect Improvement allows you to craft higher quality runestones and increase the power of the runestone. As you spend points on this, you will gain access to being able to use the different colored or different quality runestones, starting with green, then blue, then purple, and then yellow. The next skill is Potency Improvement. This will be where you spend points in order to craft higher level glyphs. Glyphs are created in a range of levels and must match the level of the piece of gear you intend to glyph. There are 10 total ranks in this. The next skill is Keen Eye. Spending points in this will add a glow to the harvestable rune out in the wild. Now, glyphs already have kind of a red glow to them, but this will make it stand out a little bit more should you not be used to spotting them quite yet. There are 3 total ranks in this, and the first rank will add a glow at 20 meters or closer, the second rank will add a glow at 40 meters or closer, and the third rank will add a glow at 60 meters or closer. The next skill is the Hireling. Spending points in this will hire an NPC to send you an in-game mail with useful enchanting materials. The level of materials sent will depend on your points and potency improvement. As you spend points in this, you will have the chance to get rarer materials, and it refreshes on a 24-hour cooldown, with the last point you can spend changing that to a 12-hour cooldown. Keep in mind you will need to log in every 12 hours in order to receive the second mail. The last skill is Runestone Extraction. When you loot or purchase a glyph, you have the opportunity to break down that glyph for some of the materials and inspiration. Spending points in this will increase your chances of getting materials back by 3, 6, and then 10%. Now let's talk about harvesting raw runestones for use in crafting. Now, enchanting has a ton of different runestones, and if you are not an ESO Plus member and you want to enchant, you will need a ton of bank space as your inventory slots will fill up very quickly with this profession. Being ESO Plus will give you access to the crafting bag, and you will never have to worry about these taking up room in your personal bank or in your inventory. This is what a raw harvestable runestone looks like. You will find these out in the wild in Tamriel, and there are 3 different types of runes used for enchantment crafting that have a possibility of dropping off of these nodes. Those are Potency, which are blue and square, and Potency runes will determine the level of glyph. There are 2 different Potency runes for each level range. One will be additive, and one will be subtractive, meaning you would use the additive version to add health and the subtractive version to absorb health. The next type of rune is an essence rune, which is a 6-sided sort of triangle shape. Essence runes will determine what kind of rune it will be, for instance, health, stamina, fire, shock, magicka, and so on. The last type of rune is an aspect rune and is circular in shape. Aspect runes will determine the quality of the glyph, whether it be common, superior, artifact, or legendary. Each node you harvest in the wild will give you an essence and an aspect rune. You have a chance of getting a potency rune off that same node. Again, the potency rune is a level of the glyph. The level of the potency that drops will be a 50-50 chance of it being based on your character level or the level you are able to craft an enchanting. For instance, if you are over CP 160 and your enchanting level is only level 5, you will have a 50-50 chance of getting either the highest level potency rune or the lowest level potency rune. So get out there and harvest. You can also purchase raw materials from a guild store, other players, or you can purchase potency runes from enchantment NPCs. Now let's head over to the crafting station and look at crafting glyphs. You will first have to locate an enchanting station, and this is what they look like on your map. It's basically like 3 little gems kind of smushed together. When you first enter the crafting station, you will see all your runestones you have collected or purchased all together in one nice list. It takes one of each type of rune to make one glyph. At first, you will not know what your runes will do, and you will have to translate each runestone to learn what the translation is and learn what it'll do. Don't worry, there is no possibility of failure here, and every combination will make some type of glyph. You can filter each type of rune by selecting potency, essence, and then aspect to make it a little easier on the eyes. The first time you translate a rune, you will get a ton of inspiration, which is your crafting XP. Always translate when you can, as this will give you the most inspiration when you first craft a glyph for the first time. The second time you make the same glyph after translating, it will not give you that bonus inspiration. The first section, potency, will again determine the level of the glyph. And again, each level range has 2 different runes. One will add and one will subtract. An easy way to determine whether one is additive or subtractive without being in a crafting station is to look at its name. Additive runes will have a Raw in it, like this Raw here. It'll have Raw either at the end or in the middle. It is an additive rune and will make this glyph add 585 stamina. Subtractive runes will have a duh in it or a DE. It'll either be at the end or in the middle. For instance, this Kuda here is a subtractive rune. Removing Ra and putting Kude in it will make it deal physical damage and restore stamina instead. So instead of getting max stamina, you will instead deal damage and get some stamina regen. For armor glyphs, you can only use additive runestones. As you can see here, substituting that one rune made it a weapon glyph. Armor glyphs will add magicka, health, stamina, or all 3 in one glyph to your armor. For armor glyphs, there are large armor slots, which are helm, chest, pants, and shields. These pieces will receive 100% of the enchant and match the item tooltip you see when you hover over the glyph. Your other slots, hands, shoulders, belt, and boots, are considered small armor slots and will only receive 40% of the enchant. So your armor adds stamina, health, and magicka. Your weapon and jewelry enchants will have a variety of different things that they can do. And don't forget, you can also trait your gear in the infuse trait, which will increase the enchantment effect by a certain percentage depending on the glyph level and quality. The next section will show you all the essence runes, which again will determine what kind of glyph it is, whether it be fire, shock, health, stamina, etc. Again, you will need to translate everything. When you go to make them, you will not see what kind of glyph it will be until you make it for the first time. You can always Google the particular glyph that you're looking for so you can make it quickly, and I'll also list some helpful add-ons for this in a little bit when we get to the add-on section. The last section is your aspect runes, and this again will determine what quality it is. There are only 5 different types of aspect runes: Ta, which makes white or common glyphs; Jajota, which makes green glyphs; Danata, which makes blue glyphs; Rakuta, which makes purple glyphs, and Kuta, which makes yellow or legendary glyphs. Each different type will make it increasingly better, and again, you cannot upgrade a glyph. You will have to make it in the quality you want it to be. The next tab over is the Deconstruction tab. You can loot glyphs off of monsters and chests, out of some containers, and deconstructing them will yield you some inspiration and a chance to get back some of the materials used to make the glyph. Now, I do have to mention you cannot level enchanting by deconstructing glyphs that you make. You get little to no XP from deconstructing the glyphs that you make. When you do make a rune, you will hear the Enchanting Man call out each of the runes by name, and then the glyph will be created and placed in your inventory. As a side note, I always wondered what the Enchanting Man would sound like if he rapped, so I made a parody video of him singing the different runes to the tune of Ice Ice Baby, which can be seen by clicking here, and I guarantee you will never sing it the same way again. Now that you've made the glyph, how do you use it? Well, it's pretty simple. To enchant a piece of gear or weapon, simply right-click that piece and click Enchant. It will then bring up a window with options based on what glyphs you have in your inventory. Simply click the appropriate glyph and enchant away. Now, armor enchants do not deplete, but weapon enchants do. As you're roaming around fighting monsters, every time you light attack or heavy attack, you are slowly ticking away at your weapon enchant. When you see that your bar is empty, you are no longer receiving the enchantment benefit and you will need to recharge it. You can recharge the glyph by right-clicking, going to charge, and using a soul stone to recharge it. Again, you are only going to need to worry about this for weapons. So how do we level this efficiently? Well, we already talked about translating runes, creating glyphs for the first time, and deconstructing looted glyphs. Another great way is to use an alt. For enchanting, using an alt to also level at the same time is by far faster, as you can make runes on one character, drop them in the bank, and then pick them up for decon on the other. Another great way is to purchase cheap glyphs off of guild stores, or finding a leveling buddy to trade glyphs with to deconstruct. Another way to earn inspiration is by doing your daily crafting quests, which are called writs. In order to see or do enchanting writs, you will first have to become certified in your enchanting profession. You will first have to be combat level 6 and go to your capital city of Daggerfall, Vocal Guard, or Davon's Watch, depending on your alliance. That is where you'll find the certification quest. The Enchanting Certification Quest Giver will be located outside of the Mages Guild, and the quest giver will have you do a few small things, or if you're a certain level, you will have the chance to skip the quest and go on straight to becoming certified. Once certified, you can then take the daily quest, which will give you enchanting materials, inspiration, and you will have the chance to get an enchanting survey report, which will be like a treasure map that takes you to a location with a ton of enchanting nodes for you to harvest. When you get higher level, you will also have the chance to get a Master Writ, which will be a yellow item that is placed in your inventory that when you click it will give you a quest to craft a very specific glyph in a specific quality and turn it into the Master Writ Mediator. These will award you with Master Writ vouchers to use to purchase things like crafting stations for your home or other useful items. If you're just starting out, you don't need to quite worry about Master Writs just yet. Another way to level quickly is by being an ESO Plus member. Being ESO Plus gives you a bonus to inspiration gain. Also, take a look at your champion points. In the green tree, the tower, spending 30 points will give you an additional 20% inspiration gain. And if you have even more champion points to spare, sending 75 points in the lover will decrease your harvesting time by 50%. Now let's talk about some helpful add-ons that can help you along your way for enchanting. Now, if you're new to add-ons and don't know how to install them, I have completed an add-on guide which can be viewed by clicking this exclamation point in the upper right-hand corner. And this is a very good guide showing you how to install add-ons or using Minion to install add-ons, but you can use this guide here. Now, there are a lot of really good harvesting add-ons. I found one really good enchanting add-on, and that was Merlin the Enchanter. Now, I personally don't use a whole lot of add-ons, but I only discovered this one last week, and it is actually tremendously helpful to me. And here's why. So when you open up the crafting station, you're going to get this book here. And right here, you're going to see your bag, which is your inventory, and this little chest icon, that'll be your bank. So you want to make sure both of those are harvested or selected so that you are pulling all the information from both your bank and your inventory. Right here, you're going to see you can select a glyph type, and on the left here, you're going to see all the different runestones. Since I have armor selected, it's going to show me only the glyphs I can use for armor making. If I select weapon, it'll change to all the glyphs I can use to make weapon glyphs. And if I select jewelry, it'll show me all the different runes I can use to make jewelry glyphs. Now, here's where it gets super, super helpful. Over here, if you click on Rune Info, it'll show you the level range and a kind of tooltip about what kind of glyph it is. Now, one of the biggest things I always have trouble remembering is, or trying to find out, is what level range each glyph covers. So this right here is just a lifesaver to me. So if I want to make a max level health glyph for armor, I'll click on that, go health, and I of course want to make it probably gold or legendary. So this will auto-populate it into the crafting station here, and you can select craft. So if you're looking to make a particular level, that is extremely helpful. Another cool thing it does is you can click on glyph keyword, and it'll give you a keyword about that particular one. So like if you have a writ that says to make a truly superb glyph of magicka, right here you can tell that this one will be the truly superb one. If you're lower level and the writ is asking you to make a major one, you click on major, and there you go. So this is an all-around really awesome add-on, and I personally love it. And that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and sub if you enjoyed it. And don't forget to click that bell icon if you sub. That'll keep you notified to when I update or upload new videos to my channel. Also, if you're interested in equipment crafting, I have recently completed a guide on that, and you can view that here in the upper right-hand corner. And that guide will cover blacksmithing, clothing, and woodworking. Also, don't forget you can check me out live on Twitch at twitch.tv/shimmer with 3 M's. I am an ESO stream team member, so I have access to some cool giveaways like crown packs, torch bug pets, game codes, things like that. But that's it for now, guys. Take care, and I'll see you guys in Tamriel. Bye.